A Heart Adrift. Hillary O'Neill's Search for Love and Purpose. Hillary O'Neill was beautiful and vivacious. Her laughter could light up a room, but beneath the surface, Hillary carried a cautious heart. She yearned for love but was guarded after a string of failed relationships. Her last boyfriend had shattered her trust. He was a charming liar. Hillary found him with another woman. It was a betrayal that cut deep. Work wasn't much better. Hillary drifted from one dead-end job to another. She felt lost, unsure of her purpose. Her saving grace was her eccentric mother, Ethel. Ethel lived life on her own terms. She filled their home with colorful paintings and the aroma of exotic teas. Ethel encouraged Hillary to follow her dreams, no matter how unconventional. One dreary Tuesday morning, Hillary found herself scanning the classifieds. She was desperate for a change, a glimmer of hope. Her eyes fell upon an unusual ad. It was for a live-in nurse. The pay was generous, but the requirements were vague. Intrigued, Hillary decided to take a chance. Little did she know this simple ad would change her life forever. An unlikely encounter, the ad that changed everything. The address led Hillary to a stately manor on the outskirts of town, a place she had never been before. The house was grand, with sprawling lawns and an air of faded elegance that hinted at a storied past. As she made her way up the steps, Hillary felt a knot of anxiety in her stomach, her mind racing with possibilities. She hoped this wasn't a mistake, that she wasn't walking into something she couldn't handle. A stern-faced butler answered the door, his expression unreadable. He ushered her into a dimly lit study, the room filled with dark wood paneling and an air of mystery. Hillary sat nervously on the edge of a leather armchair, her hands gripping the armrests tightly. She waited for what felt like an eternity, the silence of the room amplifying her anxiety. Just when her patience was wearing thin, a voice interrupted the silence, startling her. "You're wasting her time, Jenkins," the voice said, cutting through the tension. A young man in a wheelchair entered the room, his presence commanding attention. His name was Victor Geddes, and he was the reason Hillary was there, though she didn't yet know why. Victor was handsome, with sharp cheekbones and piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through her. But his face was pale, and his frame was thin, suggesting a long battle with illness. He exuded an air of quiet strength that drew Hillary in, making her feel both intrigued and cautious. Before Hillary could even introduce herself, Jenkins informed her that Mr. Geddes didn't require her services. Hillary was taken aback, her mind racing for a response. She was about to protest, to explain why she was there, when Victor stopped her with a raised hand. He dismissed Jenkins with a nod and turned his piercing gaze to Hillary, his eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and determination. Their journey was about to begin, a journey that neither of them could have anticipated, but one that would change their lives forever. Shadows of illness, Victor's brave battle, and unexpected choice. Victor Geddes was a fighter. At only 28 years old, he had been diagnosed with leukemia. The news had hit him like a ton of bricks. His father, a powerful businessman, was devastated. He wanted Victor to focus on aggressive treatment, to fight with everything he had, but Victor was tired. He had endured countless rounds of chemotherapy. Each one left him weaker and more depleted. He longed for a sense of normalcy, for someone to treat him like a human being, not a patient. So, against his father's wishes, Victor placed an ad for a live-in caretaker. He was looking for companionship, someone to ease the burden of his illness. He wasn't expecting Hillary. When Hillary walked into his study, Victor saw something different in her eyes. Yes, there was pity, but there was also a spark of determination. He saw a strength in her that reminded him of himself. He decided to take a chance on her, on this fiery redhead who dared to challenge his butler. Little did he know, he was inviting hope and love back into his life. Drowning in doubt, Hillary's fear and determination. Hillary had never felt so unqualified in her life. She knew nothing about leukemia or caring for someone so ill. Fear threatened to consume her. What if she wasn't good enough? What if she made a mistake that cost Victor his life? The responsibility weighed heavily on her. Despite her doubts, Hillary threw herself into caring for Victor. She devoured medical textbooks, determined to understand his illness. She learned about his treatment, his medications, and the importance of a healthy diet. Hillary revamped Victor's menu, replacing processed foods with fresh fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. She filled the house with laughter and light, coaxing a smile back onto Victor's face. As days turned into weeks, Hillary witnessed firsthand the toll leukemia took on Victor's body. She saw his pain, his fatigue, and his quiet moments of despair, but she also saw his strength, his resilience, and his unwavering will to live. Hillary vowed to be his rock, his source of comfort and support. Section 5. A Glimmer of Hope. Healing by the Sea. As Victor regained his strength, he surprised Hillary with a proposition. He wanted to go on a trip, a vacation to the coast. He yearned to feel the sand between his toes, to taste the salt air on his lips. Hillary was hesitant at first. Victor was still weak, and she worried about the logistics of traveling with someone so ill. But she couldn't deny the glimmer of hope in Victor's eyes. She wanted to give him this, to see him happy. They rented a small cottage overlooking the ocean. The sound of crashing waves filled the air, a soothing balm to their souls. Hillary watched as Victor came alive. He spent hours sitting on the porch, gazing out at the endless horizon. He told her stories of his childhood, his dreams, and his fears. Hillary listened intently, captivated by his words and the vulnerability he shared. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the beach, Victor reached for Hillary's hand. In that moment, time seemed to stand still. Their eyes met, and Hillary felt a connection she had never experienced before. It was the beginning of something special, something real. They walked along the shore, leaving footprints in the sand, a testament to their journey. They laughed together, shared meals by the sea, and found joy in the simple moments. Each sunrise brought new hope, and each sunset a sense of peace. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, a testament to the healing power of love and the sea. Section 6. The Crushing Blow Secrets and a Broken Promise. Their newfound happiness was short-lived. Back home, Hillary stumbled upon a hidden stash of morphine vials. Her heart sank. Victor had promised he would be honest with her, that he would never hide anything. Now, she felt betrayed. Had their entire relationship been a lie? Hillary confronted Victor, her voice trembling with anger and hurt. At first he denied it, but the evidence was undeniable. Finally he broke down, confessing that he had stopped his chemotherapy treatments. He couldn't bear the thought of more poison coursing through his veins, more days lost to nausea and weakness. Hillary was furious. How could he throw away his life like this? Didn't he realize what he meant to her? She stormed out of the room, needing space to process the overwhelming wave of emotions crashing over her. Section 7. A Christmas Miracle. Facing fear and finding forgiveness. Christmas was approaching, and the air was filled with a sense of anticipation. The house was adorned with twinkling lights and festive decorations, each corner reflecting the holiday spirit. But despite the cheerful decor, a heavy silence hung in the air, casting a shadow over the festive atmosphere. Hillary and Victor barely spoke. She was still angry, her heart weighed down by the betrayal she felt. Still hurt by his deception, she found it hard to move past the pain. But as she watched him grow weaker with each passing day, her emotions began to shift. Her anger began to give way to concern, a deep worry for his well-being taking its place. Victor, sensing her change of heart, proposed one last Christmas party, hoping to mend the rift between them. He wanted to celebrate with the people he loved, to create one final memory filled with joy and laughter. Hillary reluctantly agreed, deciding to put her feelings aside for the sake of the celebration. She threw herself into the preparations, determined to make the evening special. She invited Victor's friends and family, reaching out to those who mattered most to him. The house soon filled with warmth and festive cheer, a stark contrast to the earlier silence. As the evening wore on, the house buzzed with laughter and conversation. Hillary noticed a change in Victor, a lightness in his demeanor that hadn't been there before. He was animated, engaged, his eyes sparkling with life and joy. His eyes sparkled with a happiness she hadn't seen in a long time. He spent hours reminiscing with old friends, sharing stories and jokes, reliving cherished memories. For the first time since his diagnosis, he seemed truly happy, a genuine smile lighting up his face. It was a Christmas miracle, a moment of pure joy amidst the uncertainty. As the night drew to a close, the guests began to leave, the festive energy slowly winding down. Hillary found Victor sitting by the fireplace, his gaze distant, lost in thought. He confessed that he had planned to run away after the party, unable to face the future. He couldn't bear the thought of Hillary witnessing his decline, the burden of his illness weighing heavily on him. He felt like a burden, but Hillary, moved by his vulnerability, reached out to comfort him, her heart softening. Section 8. The Ultimate Choice. Love in the Face of Uncertainty. Hillary was stunned. He was going to leave? Didn't he understand how much she cared? She confessed her love for him, her voice raw with emotion. She told him that she didn't care about his illness, that she wanted to be with him, no matter what the future held. Victor was overwhelmed by her words. He had never felt so loved, so accepted. For the first time he allowed himself to hope, to believe that maybe, just maybe, they could beat this thing together. He made a decision. He would go back to the hospital, would resume his chemotherapy, he would fight for his life, for their love. Section 9. A Promise Painted in Time, Love's Enduring Light. In the final scene of their story, we find Hillary and Victor back in the hospital. He's weak, his hair gone from the chemo, but his eyes are bright with love and determination. He's holding a paintbrush, attempting to capture Hillary's likeness on a canvas. She's by his side, her hand resting on his, her love an unbreakable bond. The painting is a symbol of their journey, a testament to the power of love and resilience. It's a promise painted in time that no matter what challenges life throws their way, they'll face them together, hand in hand.